Hypocrisy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lost-Planning the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Recato of Recato Law, small law firm in central Minnesota. And my God, my fucking voice is just trashed. Going through puberty. What's up, guys? What's up? Yeah, sorry to be on time. I hate subverting expectations like that. It's been a day. Well, it's been several days, I guess, a couple days, so to speak, and trying to get everything back into the swing of things. I got to get these kids ready for the school year to start up. All their activities are starting up. It's crazy. We've got end of summer stuff going with family and friends. It's just been a wild time. And of course, we're between traveling, which makes everything extra stressful. And on top of that, there's this fun thing going on. I don't know if you guys are aware of it. And I just realized I'm wearing last night's shirt, which is also awesome. I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but there's this rift between Dick Masterson and Eric July. I don't know if you guys have heard of that at all. Not sure if that's come up anywhere, but Jesus Christ, this is becoming ridiculous. And I can smell it. I can smell it on the fucking walls, like a women's bathroom or whatever, just smeared in shit. This shit is going to be the next thing that explodes in my world. It's not like the thing for anybody else, just in me, because obviously I'm the one who's important in any story. And so now it's a thing. And I'm really pissed off at this drama because it affects me. And that's at the end of the day, that's where it lies. Right. So I don't know, man. I fucking hate it. I see writing on the walls. I'm going to very briefly talk about it tonight, but it was belabored to death last night. And I don't want to do that. Salty C says, of course, Nick is siding with Dick. And this is how it fucking goes. If you don't ally yourself purely in the way that I want you to, you're allying yourself with the enemy. It's cool. So we'll spend a little time revisiting something I've talked about over and over again. And I do want to talk a little bit about this thing. I haven't seen it from Eric. But I've seen it from his followers. And I want to address it a little bit now because it's going to keep coming back up, but we'll do some preliminary thoughts on it. But I want to talk about this. Has nothing to do with Eric at the moment. All right. It, in theory, I guess could, but I haven't seen Eric say anything about it, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But we're going to talk about that a little bit just because, look, y'all, it's on my mind. It's fucking everywhere. Because all the people that I associate with are somehow engaged in this, and almost all of them are on one particular side, the side of the guy who's the victim of a frivolous lawsuit, which is not a bad side to be on. Don't get me wrong. But I want to talk about a couple things related to this whole scenario in a way. And I know already that people are going to be like, because it's the no true Scotsman fallacy is like, Nick's doing whatever. It's like, oh, okay. I've done nothing but show my support to Eric the whole time. I want him to succeed and win. But these things aren't always mutually exclusive. But I'll leave it at that for now and leave it at that mystery and let people see through that a little bit till we talk about it and I can be a little bit more clear. Big news today. This is the big news that I saw at the beginning of the day. which is what, like, I was like, I'm covering this on the show. I'm covering this on the show. And that is that Kyle Rittenhouse is being sued by a dead pedophile's estate. Joseph Rosenbaum is reaching out beyond the grave to again try and touch a child. And it's really a fucking shame. Look, this, I know Kyle's not a child anymore, but when Rosenbaum stopped aging, Kyle did too, to him. So now we've got this thing. It's filed on the last day of the statute of limitations that the estate could file a wrongful death suit against Kyle Rittenhouse. And the lawyer representing the estate is the same lawyer representing Gage, half the arm he used to have Grosskreutz. And you know, it's shitty. Kyle should not have to fucking deal with this. His actions were justified. The wrongful death suit is very tenuous because you have a not guilty, you have a not guilty jury verdict. And the only presumption we can come to is that it was not guilty based on self-defense because there isn't another defense. Kyle admitted to shooting Joseph Rosenbaum, Gage Grosskreutz, and Anthony Hubert. He admitted to shooting all of them. So the only defense was justifiable use of force. So how you get around that in a wrongful death suit? Now, the standards of proof are different. They're lower, right? So, it's 51% versus beyond any reasonable doubt. But Kyle won on, and we'll talk about this a little bit more. When you assert a self-defense claim, the presumption is actually that your self-defense hits that 51% level. Like that's what you're doing as an affirmative defense. And if you do that, you win. Kyle won. So they've got a big hurdle to overcome in trying to do it, but it's about punishing Kyle Rittenhouse. He's forever punished. So it's a shitty situation, but we're going to talk about it. We'll take a peek at the lawsuit. And then we're going to talk about a couple different instances in Kansas. It just sounds like I've been trying to include bad government behavior in tangible and obvious ways because I think the government is trash in general. And we're going to use some examples out of Kansas here as how that's going on with a couple egregious violations of rights that we've seen in the news recently. So we'll talk about that. Had a little bit of a preview for it with time with Kurt last night, but we'll get more in depth on these issues. I have acute Trumpitis because Trump is swelling up, man. Like this mugshot thing is taking off. They don't know what to fucking do with it. They wanted this. They want this. But then when they get what they want, they're mad that they're getting it and that Trump isn't just capitulating and rolling over. But this thing, again, this is another one of those things that's getting out of hand. And I've got this article that I was reading assessing kind of the RICO style prosecutions going on here against Trump and his 17 or 18 associates and the strategy that's being used. And it's compared to a mob trial, like a run-of-the-mill mobster gangster trial, where they use these indictments to basically leverage everyone against each other. Okay. And I know that people think that might be the proper thing to do. It's strategically good, right? Get these people to turn on each other. But there's presumptions involved in that strategy that when you think about them from a freedom aspect, from a presumption of innocence aspect, that are disgusting. They're horrifying presumptions that we accept in the way these trials are prosecuted. And so we're going to talk about that, just what Trump is doing and what this is really doing to the nation. I think it's very, very fucking scary. Very scary. And then Handbag Trans Adolescents is a short story just because I saw this and it was so apropos of 2023. This Real Housewives of Orange County lady and her husband or whoever, they have officially, legally renamed their trans child, right, to their new gender identity. And these kids are fucking handbags. They're an accessory for these people. And it's disgusting because it's popularity, it's notoriety, it is their celebrity. And that celebrity, that new chic of my kid is trans, kid is gay or whatever. Now it's trans. Actually, it was my kids are African, right? Like Angelina Jolie and her 87 adopted foreign babies. There's always a thing. These celebrities push their fame through the notoriety of the meme du jour with regards to their children. But then that celebrity trending kicks down the line to board emulators in their own lives where they're like, oh, I must be like this millionaire plastic woman on TV because she's a trendsetter and I'm trendy. I mean, my friends, I want to keep up with everybody, including my friends. So therefore, my kid is trans. Now I'm going to publicly change their name. This kid's 12 or whatever. Munchausen by proxy, yes, is a way to put it. And it's disgusting. It's horrifying. And these kids' futures, their lives, their personalities, their identities are being sacrificed on the altar of momentary celebrity. And it's gross. Gross, gross, gross. And the worst part is it'll keep propagating down the ranks of people because the celebrities are towing the ships. So we got that. And then I guess we got to talk about Chris Chan. I've been waiting for Chris Chan news of any substantial nature for a long time. People have wondered, will Chris Chan go to trial? Will they be found mentally incompetent or whatever? Turns out Chris Chan will not go to trial because all of the charges against Chris Chan are dismissed. That's right. Chris Chan is scot-free for allegedly having sex with his elderly disabled mother. We don't know why they dropped the charges. They don't say anything. They just requested dismissal of the charges. The prosecutor, to my understanding, requested dismissal of the charges. So that's that. So Chris Chan will not be prosecuted for effectively raping, like sexually assaulting, I don't know, whatever, his elderly disabled mother. And let's not go to the Christine thing. That's a Chris. So Guns, Florida says, I would have thought the missing bicep guy would have sued, not the dead pedo. No, the missing bicep guy did sue 2 years ago. This is just the same lawyer has filed on behalf of the dead pedo. So anyway, we'll I guess talk about that a little bit. It's Friday, guys. Now, normally, as you know, I try to do a fun Friday stream, bring in a bunch of people. But since I got back home and have done 2 streams, they both have had guests. So I wanted a little solo time with you guys. Like, look, I wanted to spend some QT with the QTs out there and just hang out. We'll go through this stream on our own. We don't need assistance. It's just you and me. Oh. And some whiskey or whatever. And we'll hang out and do that. I hope you guys like that. Fun is not allowed. No, we're gonna have fun. I felt bad coming back, having 2 shows with guests, and then immediately going into a panel show. So I wanted to do this one on my own, hit these topics in the way that I want to hit them. And we've got infinity billion days left to have guests and panels on. Plus, I have a feeling like if I were to assemble a panel of people, we'd devolve into talking about Dick versus Ripa like more than I want to, because I am going to talk about it. That is going to happen, and it's probably going to happen a lot. Buckle up, buckos, as things progress. I hope not. I actually hope it just kind of fizzles out and dies. That'd be ideal. But if it doesn't, and shit keeps happening, then we got to talk about it. But I got to get some more of this initial groundwork stuff out, because I already know, I can already see it, smell it, hear it, read it, that how this is playing out, and I fucking hate it. So tonight I've employed the assistance of a new coworker, and that is Beryl Armida. I've never had this version of barrel. Never had this version of barrel. But it's a bourbon whiskey finished in pear brandy, rum, and Sicilian Amaro casks. So it's probably going to have an islandy flavor, I would guess. Fruity. We'll see. So it'll be good. So that's what we're doing. So instead I'm the picture of health tonight. I assume that's sarcastic. I felt fucking terrible all day, just exhausted. I've barely been home. I wanted to go to Legal Vice's stream today. He started like 7 a.m. my time, and I woke up and was not in my house like the whole day. So I didn't get to do that, unfortunately. But c'est la vie. That's the way it goes. I hope Jeff had a good time. I hope he lived through it. That man's liver is made of some sort of substance that I don't think it's actually been invented yet. But you know, so it's I don't know how he does it. Yeah. Wish Nick could join the EFAP anniversary stream. Wait, is that going today? No, I am going to join the EFAP anniversary stream. Like that's already on the plan. When they start that sometime really soon, like does it start tomorrow? Did they start it today? I don't remember. I want to make sure I hit it. I don't think I've gotten a link to it yet. That's tomorrow. Okay. No, I'm planning on joining the EFAP stream tomorrow. Definitely. They whatchamacallit? They invited me to come on while I was on my trip. And I said, yeah, of course I would do my damnedest to make it. And I think I should have time to do that. So that'll be good. Okay. So let's hit a couple of these chats that we have. We'll drink some whiskey and we'll hit these things. Is Ricada sick? No, I'm not sick. My voice went out after not really doing a bunch of shows and then coming back and doing like a couple long streams. Well, really the 5-hour show I did the first night back. After that, I woke up the next day, my voice is kind of ravaged. So I think it's just, I haven't been talking as much as normal, come back and talk a lot. And that's just kind of how it goes. Does whiskey need to breathe like wine? No. Whiskey needs to breathe like George Floyd. Very little or a lot. Like, I don't know how that goes. Actually, I said the joke, but I'm not sure what the punchline actually is. Blame it on the booze, but that was my first sip. All right. So let's hit this. Barbie Girl 89 says, send a prayer for my sister. Pregnant with her first. Baby has a severe birth defect that will require surgery in NICU. They have to relocate. More detail in DM. Okay. We'll pull this up as well. Here we go. So Baby Dugan's CDH fight. I have not seen this. This is the first time I'm seeing this. Okay, so let me be clear. This is how I do fundraisers, or you know, when people ask me to share, give, send, go, or whatever, I try and share it. But I don't know anything about this, and I can't personally endorse it at this point in time. Maybe I can get some more information. Maybe they've sent me the information, but I haven't read it yet. But I can't endorse it, but I will share it and let people make their own decisions on it. But I don't say, hey, you know, this would be great, unless I can personally endorse it and I'm willing to put my own money down. On this one, I need to do a little bit more research, but I'm going to share it tonight, do some research on it, and then maybe we can, you know, maybe it's something I can endorse later. But let me put it in the chats. Take a quick peek at it and see what it is. But this is Baby Dugan CDH fight. So our baby was recently diagnosed with a life-threatening birth defect called congenital diaphragmatic hernia. What this means is her diaphragm did not form completely, allowing her abdominal organs to travel into her chest cavity. Oh my God. Main concern with babies with this condition is lung development due to limited space for them to grow. So they'll have to have surgery. I guess somehow bring the organs back down and provide that space. So if you feel compelled to give into that, please take a look at it. I'll look at it personally over the next couple of days and see if it's something I can endorse and get more, just a guarantee that it's not a scam. I hate having to assume that, but these days you have to assume the scams are out there. So, but to baby Dugan, cheers to you. May the doctors have steady hands. May they be able to reverse the course of this birth defect, and may you, baby Dugan, grow to be someone that defies the doctor's expectations in health, in longevity, in creativity, and most importantly, in compassion and care for those around you that you will influence. Cheers to baby Dugan and her parents. All right. Okay, so next we've got Darth Bender says, hi, Nick. Hey, what's up? Loki177 says, Eric and Isom fans just need to ignore Dick. I think it's getting miscommunicated. I think Eric has largely ignored most of it. And if I didn't communicate that well yesterday, then that's, the failure of just live communication. But this type of stuff I try to express mostly pushed by third parties that are interested in drama, or not even that they're interested in drama. They see someone they like, they feel like they're being attacked, and they think, I don't like this, I want to defend them. Now, Eric has certainly engaged, but I think the primary engagement has probably been on Dick and Vito's side, right? Like, I don't think that's an unfair statement to make. I think Eric has been mostly disengaged, but there's some engagements that he's made though that are pretty significant. The Flashcast kind of back and forth between him and Dick and stuff like that. But I also have only tangentially followed this because a lot of it happened while I was on vacation. And so I wasn't following very closely. So I know that I've missed stuff out there. And trying to catch up on all this is a disaster because it's a gay internet fight. And so the dick flapping back and forth in the sparring match it kind of obfuscates what has actually happened. But I'm trying to get caught up on it with that. But yeah, one thing you got to know about Dick is Dick revels in chaos and attention openly. So giving him chaos and attention, he'll keep going. That doesn't justify wrong actions, but it also doesn't unjustify right actions. You know what I mean? So, but you can't put this on just Eric either or his fans. Like, Dick continues to engage. I wish everybody would stop. Personally, I think it's gay, but it is. And let's see. The God of Sleep 215 says, we all know who Nick supports between Dick and Eric. That is, of course, Nick. Well, yes. Yes. Absolutely. Talking Trash and Truths gifted a membership. Hey, thank you, girl. Very much appreciated. She also sent a super chat earlier. It says, you're so pretty. Oh, come on. Stop it. Stop it. All right. And we've got a couple locals chats here. Lord Bofins says, the only reason Dick is caught up in this Isom shit is because he associated himself with that fat little disingenuous pedo fuck Vito. Vito is known for doing this shit. Dick is not. The world is a poorer place with Vito in it. Hashtag I love Dick. I messaged Dick today and said, by the way, Vito may be your biggest mistake of your entire life. But that being said, well, I'm not going to keep, when we get to the subject, I'll hit it. Timothy 208 says, cheers to Nick. Fuck all the rest of you entitled fucks that don't realize that the prestige of the United States is gone. Thank you. Thank you for that. Cheers. All right. Let's do the Isom shit up front. Eric sent out a tweet today, which I 100% agree with this tweet. But it's got me curious. And I to be very, very fair, I have no idea what he actually means in this tweet. But I am narcissistic, and so I have to assume that everything is about me, okay? Hold on one second. I just gotta find this real quick. I find where this fucking tweet is. God damn it. Here we go. So let's make me the most important part of this story, as is always true. I have not. So I had this thought today, and because as this thing builds, I've had Dick on the show. He's talked about it, and one of my policies that I've always had in these types of controversial situations is if someone gets talked about on my show, I want to give them an opportunity to come on and talk about it. And so I had intended, but had not yet. I had intended to invite Eric on for a show. I had not reached out to him yet. Was hoping to do that in the next couple of days and figure out a good time for it. But he preempted my invite, not mine, everyone's invite with this tweet. And it caught my attention right away. So I want to go through this tweet real quick because as I read on, I saw something that is it's the shit that I don't like to see. It's those my cockles are not warmed, my hackles are raised. Here it is. So he says, I will not be joining your streams to talk about any lawsuit or potential lawsuits. Very smart move. I agree with this. Now, again, I was going to invite him on, and usually when I invite someone who's in an ongoing actual legal dispute, I'll say, hey, I'm inviting you on as a courtesy. I don't know that it's the best move for you to do that. You got to talk with your lawyer about anything you would want to say. The last thing I would want is to compromise any legal action that you have going on because of me talking to you. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to fuck with anybody's thing. But I want to always give people the opportunity to respond to anything said on my show. And so, certainly Eric would be welcome. He says, even on my own, I'm keeping it limited to what I've already said. Let me and my team of rockstar lawyers do what we do. Again, this is the traditional smart legal advice. I have expressed that I think that this is due to shift as social media becomes more and more prominent and people become mini celebrities with the ability to leverage platforms. I think that the legal profession needs to take a relook at the default advice in cases like that. And I obviously believe that using your platform is part of it, because I don't stop talking about my own lawsuit. Right, when something comes up, I talk about it. I don't think that that is ubiquitously true to not talk about law anymore, because I think there are other factors that need to be considered. But that said, this is prudent advice that Eric has either gotten or a prudent decision that he came to on his own. I'm not privy to any of those conversations. This is a very safe move, and it's what he should do in this case. First of all, shout out to everybody that's shown love and support. There are folks in this space that are genuine people and have shown support both privately and publicly. They've done so without ever being asked. I appreciate each and every single one of you. I'll always reciprocate on this. Very awesome. Nice of him to say. This is the paragraph that concerns me. And you'll see why. And again, it's narcissistic, and it just gives me the type of fucking rumblings that make me uncomfortable. He says, unintentionally has also been an interesting experiment. I don't ask for, nor would I require people's allegiance. Awesome character of Eric July here. That's corny. I agree. But there are those failing to give context or omit vital information that they clearly are aware of when discussing this issue. The only thing wrong with that is putting up a facade of centrism. Just be honest is all I ask. Okay. Now, again, far be it from me to be narcissistic. I have no idea who Eric's talking about. But there's an implication that I'm sure is being taken from that about me. And I know it's being taken from that, like not from that, but it just in general about my stance on this issue. So I'm going to reiterate my stance on this issue, but I'm going to talk about why this is so fucking complicated and frustrating. I 100% and unequivocally support Eric July. Absolutely. I went through the trademark lawsuit with Kurt. We both agree this is an extremely weak case, should not have been brought. and are both surprised based on what the company received that it was brought. I want Eric to win this thing. I want him to make millions and millions and millions of dollars. I legitimately look up to his success. Like, he has blown everybody away with how he's done this Rippaverse thing. He's done it in what I think is the best way to do it. He invested his own money. He got the comic ready to go. It was basically like when you're doing a pre-order, not a promise order like most Kickstarters where, hey, I need the funding to help me do this and then I'll send it to you. He said, no, we're doing this, and then people will order it and then we'll ship it as soon as possible. And that's why Isom 2 is already going to people's hands. Fucking amazing. I think he has created a model that every crowdfunding book creation should emulate. And it's one of the reasons I haven't ever started my crowdfunded book ideas, is because I want to get them much closer to the fucking finish line. Because I don't want to be a guy who's like, well, I collected all this money. Now it's going to take me 2, 3, 4 infinity years to finish it. I don't like that. I know me also. I have a tendency that when things get pushed to the side, they can get pushed to the wayside. And it's not intentional or anything, but I don't want to be that. I don't want to take something from people and never, ever deliver. So that being said, I'm modeling on this very, very good model of how to do a new type of parallel economy. It mirrors in a lot of ways the existing economy rather than create some new thing with reduced expectations. Say, we're going to deliver on this stuff. We want to deliver you books. And he's done it. Fucking admirable. And it's part of the reason why he's so goddamn successful. It's great. And again, I have always said I want Eric to win. I want him to win bigger than he's winning. And he's winning really fucking big. But that said, and again, I don't know if that paragraph was me, not in Eric's head. And it's probably a self-assessment / I don't know, condemnation or question. When you read it and you go, oh shit, is this me? So you reflect on it, right? Here's the thing. People who have followed me long enough probably know this. I do not throw people away. I don't condemn them. I don't like disassociate. People 99% of the time disassociate with me. I'm a criminal defense attorney at heart. So someone does a bad thing, it doesn't get to me that fast. Let's get some convictions. Let's get some evidence. Let's put it out there. So while I 100% support Eric July and in this, I'm not going to immediately condemn Dick Masterson, who I've known for a very, very fucking long time now. Lots of years on the internet. And this seems very out of character for him to have done. Now, I know a lot of you people will disagree with that. I guess you say, no, this in character for Dick. I don't think so, but it's not my job to convince you. I don't care what you think about it, right? This isn't about what you think about it. This is how I have to approach this issue, because I have someone who I know seems out of character, doesn't seem like they've done it, and I haven't seen good evidence that they have. I've talked about this to fucking death yesterday, so I'll briefly restate it. I think Eric's position that Dick and Vito are involved based on what he has presented is reasonable for Eric. I think it's a reasonable position. I don't think it seals the deal. I think it is woefully lacking. I think if you went into court with this, which we'll get into going into court with this, but that's not on the table, but just kind of that idea, you would not be winning. You would not be winning with the current evidence that Dick and Vito are the masterminds behind this. And anyone calling a Vito a mastermind of anything, reassess. But that being said, I have stood by people on the internet unreasonably too long until shit really comes out. I can't imagine changing that now. Though don't get me fucking wrong. The easy answer in this is to take Eric's side. And I think Dick would probably just be like, yeah, well, whatever. Like, I get it. Eric has a way bigger audience. The monetary potential is much, much higher. It's easy to be cheered on. No questions. Oh, Nick, you finally realized what was it? Yeah, those guys suck or whatever. That's the easy answer. But it compromises who I am and who I've been in regards to everybody else that I meet on the internet. And I can't do it. I can't do that. That being said, let's get a couple things out. And I know this thing's going to be decontextualized to death. And there's no way around it, guys. There's no way around it. So I just have to deal with that. But first of all, people are gassing Eric up. Or I don't know if they're trying to gas up the idea of a lawsuit against Dick and Vito. If Dick and Vito contacted this church, if that happened, which I know people think it did, okay, for the purpose of the argument, I accept it. That's not illegal. That violates a rule of the internet that most of us adhere to, that I think would be bullshit. It's happened to me, by the way, and I think it's really fucking lame. My Fear the Beard shirts with Ty Beard on the face that I sold like 10 of and made $90, I think, total off of them were taken down by the Robertsons, the Duck Dynasty guys, because they trademarked Fear the Beard. All right. Like, I don't think Ty's face looks like the Duck Dynasty guys, and I can make all sorts of arguments about Anthony Harden, the Houston Rockets basketball player with a big beard, who James Harden. I don't know black people's names, who had Fear the Beard t-shirts and stuff like that as well. Like, I could make arguments about it, but at the end of the day, someone contacted the Robertsons and their lawyer retardedly sent me a cease and desist, and they took down my Teespring listing for it. I thought it was fucking gay. That violates the rule of the internet. All right. And I would be really fucking disappointed to find out that Dick and Vito actually did this. I haven't seen that yet, but I'd be really fucking disappointed to find that out. And if that's tangibly shown, then of course I would, be like, hey, that's really fucking stupid. But until I'm shown that, I don't just discard people, and certainly not over accusations, and certainly not over gay fucking tribal internet slap fights, which always have hyperbolic expressions of what has happened. And I'm not about to start now. I don't think I've misrepresented anything. And again, I don't know that Eric is talking about me. I'm not saying he is. I'm saying when I read that, I had to go through, my own self-assessment. I don't think I've misrepresented anything. Have I missed something? Like, is it possible that there's some part of the drama I don't know? Yeah, I've learned stuff as we go. So I know there's possibly stuff that I'm not aware of. I'm always open to new information. But until I get good information that shows the thing that is bad being done, it's not going to happen. I know that's going to make some people pissed off. They may not want to watch, whatever. Maybe pissed. Sorry, guys. It's me. That's how I do things. And I do things that are not to my benefit sometimes. That's just how I believe people should be treated. And it's probably because I was raised in the 80s, and the friends that I've made in real life, those friendships last. Even when your friend's a piece of shit, they're still your friend, right? It takes a lot to sever them. That doesn't change because it's the internet. I would give Eric July every amount of deference that I would give anybody else as well. It's not a unique thing. So I know some people want like some easy answer. I don't do that because I'm an idiot and I have no concept of how to run my own business. But that's how it's going to be. But that said, I do want Eric July to win. Now let's briefly address the idea that's being bandied about a lawsuit against Dick and Vito. First of all, if you were to provide a lot more evidence that Dick and Vito are actually behind these emails, we'll accept for the sake of argument that's true. A lawsuit on this case would be fucking disastrous. And I know saying this is going to be criticized heavily. Like, I already know. But let's talk about a couple realities. Eric is in Texas. Dick is in California. So is Vito. Vito is the size of California. So I can't really say in it. He's on it. Vito's on California. Dick's in California. Eric and Rippaverse are in Texas. All right. So you got 4 jurisdictional options, basically. Texas State Court, Texas Federal Court, California State Court, California Federal Court. And I'll probably put together a self-serving ad full video to make me money talking about this too, but let's just hash through it real quick. Texas State Court and California State Court both have very strong anti-slap provisions. California, notoriously robust. Texas, absolutely punishing. If Eric were to bring those cases in either state court jurisdiction, he is looking at anti-slap, and it will be difficult because he's almost undoubtedly a public figure in this thing. He's running a crowdfunding campaign that has made fucking close to $6 million on these 2 books. You cannot say he's not that he's not at least a limited purpose public figure in this instance. So that means that he would have to prove actual malice. He would have to prove that Dick and Vito lied about him in some way and knew it was a lie and chose to ignore their knowledge. Let's ignore the fact that I don't know what he sues for. I don't know what he sues for in the first place. And again, I want to be very clear. I'm going to say this probably more. I've not seen Eric talking about suing anyone. I've seen his followers talking about it. So this is not to Eric. Eric has a team of attorneys. He doesn't need my advice. He's never asked me for my advice. If he did, I would, of course, say, hey, brother, I'll talk to you about whatever. I'm not your lawyer, though. I know you got lawyers. You should verify anything I say with them, and they're the people you should listen to because you're paying them. But if he wanted my opinion on anything, I'd give it to him. Again, I like Eric July. Dude's a fucking inspiration. Very nice, very gentlemanly dude, and very much enjoyed hanging out with him. That being said, I'm not sure what you'd sue for in this case, but let's say you could come up with something. You run into anti-slap issues because all this is predicated on speech. Inducing a lawsuit is not a tort. It is not an injury. Courts have long held that in almost every case, invoking legal rights through a lawsuit is highly, highly protected. And the idea that it is done in some sort of nefarious way they're very skeptical of that accusation. I don't think you got anything like that here, even if you could show that they sent the email, because they can't induce this company to sue. And that email certainly doesn't. That company got that email, looked at it, talked to their lawyer and then worked out the proposition to sue. That's it. That's what happened. And I think that was a really stupid move by the company, by the lawyer as well. But they did. But even if you're like, hey, you should sue these people, that's not illegal to do at all. Encouraging someone to exercise their right to petition their government for redress of grievances is certainly not illegal. Again, this is a rule of the internet that was broken, not a rule of law. But let's say you could find something. You're running into those anti-slaps in both state courts. Now, there's federal court in California, which will apply the California anti-slap. The Ninth Circuit applies the California anti-slap. So you're running into the same problem. The Fifth Circuit, however, the Texas one, does not. So in theory, Eric could sue in federal court in Texas because Vito and Dick are in LA. Eric and the Rippaverse are in Texas. You have diversity jurisdiction. You could presume he would argue more than $75,000 of damages. I don't know how he'd show it, but that's what he would argue. And so you've got that subject matter jurisdiction for a federal case in Texas, which does not apply the Texas anti-slap in the federal courts. We learned this from your boy Zach's case, if you remember. We've got another hitch, though. A big hitch here is, how do you bring Dick and Vito into Texas courts under their jurisdiction? How do you do that? You have to have, the court has to have a reason to have jurisdiction over Dick and Vito. I don't see any substantial ties to Texas, certainly not related to this instance where a Texas federal court would say, yeah, they need to show up there. Most likely venue would be in California because that's where they are. So I just want to suggest that 3 out of 4 options have an anti-slap that is very, very fucking dangerous for Eric July. The 4th out of 4 option would be a very difficult jurisdictional argument. It'd be the only good option to avoid the anti-slap, a really hard jurisdictional argument, and you're talking about adding a year of fight to the lawsuit. I hope this does not devolve into another lawsuit. In fact, the main reason I hope so is because I hope Dick and Vito aren't actually involved. I know a lot of people think they are, and you may be right. I don't know. I only have my read of the evidence. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything because I'm not interested in that. The question is the analysis. I think a lawsuit here is a bad move to try and pin Dick and Vito down. But I'm not Eric July, and I'm not giving him advice. He didn't ask for it, and I'm not his lawyer. So they may have some other stuff. And I know Eric has said that there's receipts that have not been revealed yet because they're saving them for court. Excellent. Fantastic. I can't wait to see them. I'm curious what they are. And again, I'd be very interested to see what legal theory they're going to try if they are going to bring up a lawsuit. But I have not seen, for the 5 millionth time, I've not seen Eric July state that they're suing anyone at this point. So I want to be very, very clear. I'm addressing fan rumors at this point. That's what I have seen. All right. So there you go. Summary. Support Eric, 100%. Lawsuit is bogus. He should not have to deal with it. The troll, whoever it is, if it's Dick, if it's Vito, if it's Dick and Vito jerking each other off into each other's mouths while doing this, or if it's some third party, whoever sent the email, if they intended to fuck with Eric's business, that's really fucking gay. If they sent a joke that they never thought would manifest in a lawsuit, which I think is kind of the likely outcome, whoever sent this kind of looks like they wanted a response by email, not a lawsuit. But if they did that, also gay. Also gay. But at the same time, I don't cast away people I know over an accusation without some real fucking evidence. And it's not there yet. It may exist, but it hadn't been presented. So that's that. If you ask me to take a side on it, that is my side. My side is I want Eric to win 1,000,000 times. And but I don't think that Eric winning and Dick and Vito being quote unquote guilty are mutually exclusive things. Like they can both be true, untrue, whatever. So we'll see. But the writing's on the wall, folks. The purity test is already here, and it's only going to get worse. And this is what I've said. I said it with the legal bites and the law tube shit back during Johnny Depp. And I'll say it again. Any movement or person or whoever who demands I take some allegiance side because of any idea, you know me, I'm gone from whatever it is. I don't do that. I don't give a shit about whatever group it may be. I don't care about some insular community at all. If you ask me to take a side, I'm out of whatever your thing is. So peace. Let the actual evidence fall where it may be. That's how I've done the internet for fucking 6 years, and that's how I'll do the internet for the next however many. VX says, did you get the Chippy Gadsden patch I mailed you? Yes, that is also available on Etsy, sold as the wood chipper by Malicious Subtraction. Yes, I did. I thought I showed it on stream, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. Stefan Mironov, this is a joke, I think, but I think it's relevant. He says, yeah, but have you read it? No. And I'll go on record saying this. I don't think I've read a single Comicsgate project or independent creator project that I've bought. I don't think I've read any of them. I've looked at some of the art and stuff. It's cool. I don't care if the story is good or bad. I don't care if the characters are well developed or not. I hope the art looks good. I want that because I want people to be able to appreciate it. It's easy to see. I don't care. I support people I like. I support concepts that I like. I like the parallel economy. I love independent creation. I support it on principle. Whether it's good or bad is irrelevant to me. And no, I haven't read them. I bought the 4 issues of Blade Devil from Raging Golden Eagle, right? The hentai set with the titty covers or whatever. They're just sitting fucking on a top shelf in my closet where my kids can't find them. I've never read them at all. I just thought it was funny. So there you go. But no, I've not read ISOM. I've not read any of them. I haven't read the ones I'm in. I haven't read the Earthworm Jim. I haven't read any of them at all. So that is not. I tried to make this clear when Dick was doing the argument. It's like I don't. Early on, when it was just he was criticizing ISOM or whatever. To me, it's irrelevant if it's good or bad. I don't know why we should expect it to be as good as like Marvel, a $1 billion company with editors and people with years and years of experience. Regardless of whether or not ISOM's good. If ISOM is well written, I mean, props to Eric July for one of his first writing projects being a fucking banger. I don't know if it is or not. But that being said, I don't expect it to be the greatest piece of literature ever created. It doesn't need to be. It never did. So no one's does. The fact that the community gets to participate, community gets to support someone they like, the community gets to buy something from someone they trust who doesn't hate them, that is sufficient value for me to have spent tens of thousands of dollars backing projects and to have, supported creators and promoted their projects to the tunes well into the 6 figures. Like, I'm happy to do that just on the principle alone. I have no qualms about that. But I haven't read fucking anything from anyone, independent or non-independent, in years. I just don't have a lot of time to do it. It's not personal. Yeah. Rick Nikita says, comic book people are the biggest babies in the world. I hate the people who read them, who wrote them. I wish they would all just disappear. Well, there you go. And Michael Otto says, Raggets, I hate to do this, but please shout out my gifts and go. My wife's 18-year-old cat is very sick and needs to be put down. It's unbelievable how expensive it is. Titled, Help Lay Zeus the Cat to Rest. Sure, I'll shout it out. Guys, you can go to Gifts and Go. Help Lay Zeus the Cat to Rest if you want to help this 18-year-old cat lose its remaining lives. Look, no, it sucks when your cat gets old and is dying. Best part about farm cats is you don't get the old age thing. They just end up dying off in middle age. But no, it sucks, man. It really does. Cheers to you and your wife. I fucking hate cats dying. I've buried way too many. Maps Go on the Wall says, not a purity test. Just seemed like last night you were thinking Ripa was just as guilty as them. Just as guilty as them? Okay. I'm sure I miscommunicated. Live television's imperfect. But Ripa did, like, part of his thing is his brand is engaging trolls, right? Monetize your haters. I think what I said is the consequence of monetizing your haters is that your haters may also thrive on hate in some way. And so Eric July, dude, I've watched him bring up people, debate them who like are shitting on him, and he fucking nukes them, and it's hilarious. I've watched it happen. I love it. But if that's your brand and you engage the troll, the assumption is once you nuke them, they'll become irrelevant to your situation or they'll stop talking. Dick is broken up here, guys. He doesn't stop. He'll go harder. So it's not a criticism of Eric. It's the reality of what happens when you have a tornado sucking up a fucking Down syndrome shark, man. Like, what are you going to do? It's going to dumbly go after just swim in a circle the whole time. It'll keep going. So, I don't think and I don't know what as guilty as them is a thing for 2 reasons. I don't know what Ripa would be guilty of at all. Like propagating drama, I guess. Not to some egregious level, though. It's just the reality of the situation. If you monetize your haters, you're engaging in the drama. Ripa's very good at it. It's his brand. He kind of has to do it. Fantastic. He's really good at it. But the other assumption is that Dick and Vito are guilty, which has been done really early without sufficient evidence, in my opinion. Again, I've said, I think Ripa's position on this, based on what Vito said and the information he has, is a reasonable position to take. I think it may prove factually incorrect, but I'm not saying it's unreasonable that he believes it. I'm just saying that if if they get to the bottom of the facts, they may not find that they're behind it. So the two assumptions there are the guilt of either party. I don't think either of them are guilty from what I've seen. Other people will think they're guilty. That's fine. I don't want to change your mind. I don't care how you approach Dick Masterson. You can hate him all day. It will not impact me in the slightest. So go do that. I'm just talking from my own assessment. I think your explanation tonight is good, though. See your point. Still, though, Dick eats corn the long way. Look, I'm going to try it. All right. One more chat, and then we're hitting the Rittenhouse stuff. Timothy 208. Sorry to spend so long on this thing, but guys, like, the blessing and the curse of this endeavor of YouTubing is you talk about what's on your mind. This thing weighs really fucking heavy on me. I think I've talked about this before, but when I get stressed out, my narcolepsy really triggers, and I'm very tired, and I just want to sleep. All day today, I've just wanted to sleep. This makes all of my friendships very fucking tense. And I hate that, by the way, because I want to hang out with all of these people as often as possible. This makes it very tense. It's very stressful. So, and I'm the most important one. Timothy says, all of us will become Kyle Rittenhouse if we don't put an end to the lawless nonsense. Creating laws and not enforcing existing laws is a nightmare paradox that leads to absolute authority. Lord Boffin says, Ricada Law, I truly can't understand why people do not get your position on the ISOM drama. But to smoothly segue on our next topic, might I suggest you blow that big, beautiful nose? It's also kind of my thing. I'm not going to blow my nose on camera. That's disgusting. All right. Let's move to Kyle Rittenhouse. I feel like there was one other thing I had to do. Fuck. There's definitely one other thing I was going to. Yes, I got it. I mentioned it at the end of the show last night, which was way too late. I want to mention it now, right now. Law Nerd Clips has been demonetized by YouTube. And while we're still on YouTube, I have to say this. I have to say this in a very intentional, circumspect ways because you don't want to run like afoul of it. So Law Nerd Clips has been demonetized by YouTube for reusing content. YouTube is a faggot. I wanted to make sure that we're using the appropriate language here on YouTube for that. YouTube is a faggot for demonetizing Law Nerd Clips. So there you go. That's that. So guys, go to Law Nerd Clips, show them some love, support them. Law Nerd Clips, do you have like a Patreon or some shit? Do you have something that people can like a locals, anything they can support you? Go support them. They're fucking awesome. Really. So there we go. Okay. Let's get into this Kyle Rittenhouse shit. I got to pull up my fucking email. God, I hate email. But we've got the complaint from Joseph Rosenbaum, the dead fucking pedo. Is it a dedophile? What is it? What do we call Joseph Rosenbaum? Like, how do we even do this? Because he's dead. Is Law Nerd Clips in the chat? I thought I saw Law Nerd Chips in the chat, clips in the chat, but I don't know. Maybe. Okay, here we go. Hey, what's up, Agrilith? How you doing, brother? Always happy to see you, man. You warm my penis. Okay, so here we go. This is the estate of Joseph Rosenbaum. Now it's versus the Kenosha County Sheriff, former chief of police, blah, 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 blah. And of course, Kyle Rittenhouse is there. Now, this is very, very similar to the complaint of Gage Grosskreutz against all of these same people, because it's probably pretty much a copy and paste. We're going to take a peek at this lawsuit, but I fucking hate this shit. Kyle needs to be let go. He didn't do anything wrong. In fact, he did fucking everything right. He didn't shoot any bystanders. He only shot people who put him in direct danger. He didn't recklessly shoot at someone else by accident. He shot people looking to harm him specifically, put him in reasonable fear of imminent death or serious bodily injury. Anyone who thinks that Kyle Rittenhouse wasn't in danger of being killed at that moment, I don't know what to tell you. The fact that his bullet was consecrated by holy oil and perforated a fucking pedophile is all just gravy to the issue. Let's do this. Joseph Rosenbaum, little Joey Rosie, or whatever his fucking name is, fucked children in the ass and should have been put down like the rabid dog that he is by the state. The fact that he was walking the streets is a tragedy and a crime and a condemnation against Western civilization. It was not an ambiguous case in the case of little Josie Lunchbox. This motherfucker raped adolescent children in the ass. He should have been drawn up in the fucking town square, attached to slow-moving go-karts driven by his victims and pulled apart at the joints. And then someone should have come up and beaten his torso's remaining flaccid penis with a baseball bat until he coughed up blood and gargled on it to death. Fuck Joseph Rosenbaum. Fuck everybody who likes him and supported him. Little Josie. No. Fuck these people. Disgusting. This isn't someone who had an impure thought about a child. This isn't a reach of pedophilia. This is someone who raped children and deserved to get fucking Lizzie Bordened. And yet, deranged, fucking lunatic people on the left, so anti-gun or Kyle or common sense, will sit there and defend this fucking disgusting stain of humanity today. Now ignore that he raped children and should have been killed by the state. Because even if he didn't, even if he's a fucking saint, Kyle Rittenhouse acted appropriately because he was chasing him, saying, I'm going to fucking kill you, or whatever he said. And then he grabbed the barrel of Kyle Rittenhouse's gun, verified by forensic evidence. His hand was within inches, 0 to 6 inches, if I remember, of the barrel that fired around into Joseph Rosenbaum. So let's be very fucking clear. Fuck Joseph Rosenbaum. His estate should be sued by the children he raped. Except he doesn't have anything to take other than the desires to touch more children. Is Kyle going to be represented by Richards in this suit as well? I don't know the composition of Kyle's civil defense team. I'll see if I can find out, but I don't know off the top of my head. All right, so here we go. Now comes plaintiff, the estate of pedophile Rosenbaum, by counsel Motley Legal Services. Motley Legal Services sounds pretty fucking apropos, doesn't it? And complains against David Beth, blah, 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 all these people, and Kyle Rittenhouse, right? The case involves the tragic death of Joseph Rosenbaum. You spelled blessed fucking relief wrong, you fucking coward. A father and community member who was shot and killed on August 20th. He's not a community member. This wiggo just got to Kenosha from Arizona or New Mexico after being released from raping children. He just got there. A father of who? On August 25th in Kenosha, Wisconsin, Rosenbaum was participating in protests against police violence, which were sparked by the police shooting of Jacob Blake 2 days earlier. The justified shooting of someone trying to abduct children and run over police after fighting them with a fucking knife. Those police were, and he still lived. He's still alive. He's probably hooked up to a fucking Stephen Hawking simulator by now, but this motherfucker, this dirtbag, Jacob Blake, is still alive. Mr. Blake was a black man. Is he white now? Who had been shot in the back 7 times by an officer in the Kenosha Police Department. Rosenbaum shot in the back because he was disobeying a lawful order. This man had just literally fought police officers and was under arrest, disobeying a lawful order by entering a car that he was stealing with children in the back that he was kidnapping. This isn't an ambiguous case. You guys know me. I fucking hate police violence. I hate it. But if there's a case for police violence, it is an angry, psychopathic man trying to stab police, getting into a vehicle that he's stealing with children that he's kidnapping. Shoot the motherfucker. Rosenbaum was among many who peacefully protested the shooting. Obvious lie. Tons of video on this. And Kenosha's pattern of racist and violent behavior by police officers and other officials. Rosenbaum has no idea of any of this. During the protests, private citizens took up arms and patrolled the streets of Kenosha, acting as law enforcement agents. Nope. Many of them had posted racist messages and threatened violence on social media before descending upon Kenosha. They made their plans known to law enforcement officials. So the idea is that law enforcement officials knew and failed to protect, which is not true. They actually had blockades and people were not supposed to be where they were. These armed individuals were not Kenosha business owners whose property had been damaged, or they hired by any of those businesses to come protect their property. Now, importantly, this is irrelevant because Joseph Rosenbaum had equally no right to be there that night. The implication is that these people like Kyle did not have a right to be there because they weren't harmed. Joseph Rosenbaum has an equal right to them. Lawnerd Clip says, I'm here. Sorry, I was flipping between accounts and then clipping you calling YouTube figs. I'll set a Patreon or something and link it in my next video. Consider the locals. I don't like Patreon. Locals or something else. Just anything but Patreons. And OnlyFans or whatever would be fine. No, I'm just kidding. Do whatever is best for you on Nerd Clips. And people, I hope they support you. Rosenbaum was among many who peacefully protested. Blah, 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 blah. During the protests, private citizens took up arms and patrolled the streets. Oh, I was already down here. These armed individuals were not Kenosha. Did I? Holy fuck. They just repeated this. I was like, I read this. They just repeated the same fucking thing twice. I thought I was drunk. I'm not even drunk yet. Check the numbering. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is there something wrong with that? I don't know. It's weird. Oh shit, guys, we're not going to do this today. We're going to do this today. Goes 1 to 10, then back to 8. Fucking awesome. Okay, I'm not there yet. We're not going to do this today where I get too wrapped up and forget to move to Rumble. We're over an hour. I'm going to hit these super chats on YouTube. I make sure I haven't missed any Rumble rants so far that I would read. Same with locals. And then we're going to go over to Rumble exclusively because that's how we fucking do. Let's hit it. Let's hit it. Oh, wait, before you leave, if you leave here, September 16th, Nashville, come hang out. It's going to be fun. Hey, Cecil will be there. So will Dick Masterson. I'm guessing Katy Perry is going to be singing Firework at some point. What a fucking disaster this whole goddamn thing is becoming. I just want to go to Nashville and hang out with my friends. And now they're going to be fighting. It's going to be great. So come hang out in Nashville, September 16th. Liquor will be flowing. Anger will be rising. People will be, it's going to be great. Great. Low Watermark. Wow. Thank you. Says when Law Nerd Clips gets their support channel up, I'll be supporting it. Awesome. Thank you, Low Watermark. Thank you for the huge donation to me. And thank you very much for supporting Law Nerd Clips. One of a very genuine person on YouTube. Very genuine person. I like them very much. Carl Tago says it might be a little late, but Joseph Rosenbaum has to be known as and referenced as the shoot me binger. Yeah. Yeah. Jay Liebgott says mods get free tickets to Nashville. I mean, if you sufficiently grovel to me on email, maybe you could get one. I don't know. Ask. Okay, let's do this. Shabusiness says, Nick, this is why YouTube communities fail every time. Yes, it is. It's exactly why. It's exactly what I've said every time. It's circling wagons. It is purity tests. And it's condemnation if you don't cast away the person. It's the other thing. Lots of people make fucking bad decisions or mistakes or bad takes. But some things you're not allowed to forgive people for, and other things you are. Chris D says it's a legal question. In the trial, Rosenbaum's prior bad acts didn't come in, but they now. His pedophilia? Probably not. Probably not. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure says if Dick and Vito wanted to mock Eric's writing, then fine, whatever. But instead they run smear campaigns claiming Eric is running a fraudulent charity and claiming he is a con artist. Yeah, fucking fly in my office. Oh, look, I said last night, most of the charity shit I believe happened while I was gone or not paying much attention. From what I saw of it, I'm happy to say, I think Dick and Vito may have gone too hard on the charity. I think it was mostly Dick on the charity thing, but maybe Vito too. I don't know. Not really comfortable with that. I'm fine saying that, by the way. But I didn't see impropriety in the charity stuff from Eric. They did. I don't really care to look into their thing because I think that that's concern trolling and kind of like, it's kind of gay. I don't think it's the most egregious offense in the world. I don't think Eric was particularly damaged by it. But that being said, I think they went too hard on that. I do. I'm happy to say that. If I haven't said that before, happy to say that. Thanks for pointing that out. Cause I agree. I think that was a little much. Eric is running no. And I never thought Eric was running a fraudulent charity or that he's a con artist. Dude's delivering books. I mean, he's delivering books. Lots of Kickstarters and shit have not delivered books for a while. Eric's delivered 2 books, or delivered one, is delivering the second, I believe. No, I think he's great. Netcat Media says, if Masterson doesn't support it, he should say it's great. Fuck him. Don't support things you don't believe in. Again, fuck Vito, fuck Dick Masterson. Masterson doesn't support it. He shouldn't say it's great. Doesn't support what? Okay. I'm not Dick's fucking megaphone. He was on the channel the other day kind of talking about this. But look, I have no doubt that Dick thinks this is funny. He gave context as to why he's annoyed. He thinks that Eric or ISOM people or whoever false flagged Riley's parody store, the Clipaverse, and other stuff. Whether you agree or not, I don't care. Like, whatever. Whether you agree or not is irrelevant to me too. That's his perspective. So Does he find it funny? Like the karma that Eric's getting sued on trademark after flagging stuff for trademark or copyright infringements? Yeah, I can guarantee you he finds it funny. Does it mean he's right? No. Does it mean he's wrong? No. But yeah, like, I don't know what you expect from that one. The God of Sleep says, we all know who Nick supports. Yeah, Nick. Whiskey, Nick, you look exhausted. Take a couple days away from the drama. Oh, I'm going to, obviously, Saturday, Sunday. Although tomorrow I'll try and be in Flashcast. It will eat you if you don't. Fuck the team, this or that to you. I always do. But again, I like all of these people. And so I will, of course, I'm going to make extra effort to be on Flashcast tomorrow. All my friends are on Flashcast. And I know that they're on Eric's side. They're not on Dick's side, pretty much universally. That's fine. Like, that doesn't bother me. My friends' decisions and associations are theirs. That's why I don't do the community thing, right? It's not because of anything other than other people's decisions are theirs, mine are mine. I will not condemn you for yours. Don't condemn me for mine. Because it's my relationship with X is irrelevant to my relationship with Y. Am I still allowed on Flashcast? I think so. I still talk to Flash. If he asked me not to come on, I'd be like, yeah, that's fine. But he's never done that. I feel bad because I'm not on there more. I've just been very busy Saturdays. Oh, really? You don't say? Says, if Chris goes to jail, we lose our lolcow. Can't have that. Correct. Chris Chan will not go to jail. Charges are dropped. Prince Vibes. Well, I think he was in some sort of care facility or jail for a while, but no longer. Prince Vibes says, you're the fucking best. Can't wait to meet you. Thank you. Meet me in Nashville, September 16th. Dustin the Wind says Flash wouldn't do that. Exactly. I don't think he would do that. Just Joy gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Just Joy. 8L says, good evening, Mr. Raggets. You may have been asked before, but have you considered inviting Corey Shirafisi for an interview? I've considered, I know how to contact Corey. I'm sure Miss Wisco could put me in contact. I would love to talk to him. I just haven't gotten around to asking yet. Bad Dragonite says, any plans to check out the new Armored Core? In theory, yes. I love the Armored Core series. I played the first one. I played the shit out of it. I loved that. I played a lot of number 2. I didn't have a PS2 or 3. I think it was PS2 that Armored Core 2 was on. I didn't have a PS2 at the time, so I played it on my friends, but I loved it. I lost track after that, but I do have plans to check it out, but I don't know that I'll just haven't had time to play video games. Ovid, could your corporation being registered in Texas and Dick going off on your show settle jurisdiction? No. Don't care about this gay stuff. Just curious. No, that's completely irrelevant. The Greek Getaway says, what are your thoughts on the ISOM group tweeting out they tried to handle this out of court, but Eric refused to call them? That makes sense. But that's going to get twisted. Kurt and I were marveling that they didn't reach out to Eric to say, hey, let's figure this thing out. But also saying Eric refused to call them. I get phone calls from a bunch of people that I don't fucking care about. I get random like solicitations. I don't get voicemails from everybody, or I do get voicemails and ignore them. Eric not returning their call doesn't mean anything. He's on social media. He's very busy. He's building shit. He builds way more than me, and I'm too fucking busy to take 90% of phone calls. That doesn't surprise me at all that it could be missed. That's not a nefarious thing. It's not an intent thing. I'm glad to hear that they reached out. But if Eric didn't call him back, and what are they supposed to do? Well, if he's not going to return our calls, then I guess we file suit. But that doesn't say anything about Eric. That's not like I'm not going to call them, blah, 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 blah. That's Eric could have missed it. I don't know. He may have chosen to not call him too, or not talk to him. Say, hey, I'm not going to talk to them without my lawyer. Very reasonable things to do, by the way. I don't know the circumstances. In no case is Eric not contacting them a bad thing. It might be better if he had talked to them and they could work this out. Be like, dude, we have no idea who you are. None of our stuff is ripping over. We'll donate 100 comic books to your ministry. You can hand them out to kids or college students. We think they'll love them. That'd be cool. Like, that'd be a great way to settle it if they take it. I don't know what they take though. But yeah, Eric not calling them back, nothing. I'm just glad to hear they did attempt to reach out. That's what you want to know. And that's what they'd want to be able to say in the suit as well. The God of Sleep says this nuanced opinion is too confusing. I'm going to side with my internet dad, Isom. The other Isom is in the wrong and Isom is in the right. Broseph Rosenbaum says, I'm going to sue you for defamation, you pedo hater. Sorry, Joseph Rosenbaum. I am over the age of 12, so I'm not sure you'll be able to sniff me out. Tara Rayner says the left will not stop until they destroy their target. This includes Trump, Kyle, and all January 6ers. And in my opinion, ending them permanently. Pray hands from Canada. Hey, what's up, Tara? My favorite Canadian. How you doing? Carter says, this is why I love Ricardo. Lol. Get your butt on Timcast sometime. I've been on Timcast. I'd go on again. Tim was a gracious host. He gave me lots of pappy, and that was nice. But, I'm happy to go on. It's kind of an inconvenience to fly to fucking DC, but I'm happy to do so if Tim thinks I have something to add to his show. But I don't want to impose myself. Like, Tim, you got to have me on. Why? Because I'm drinking, baby. I don't know what that would be. I liked him. I disagree with him on some stuff. I think he might be a little hyperbolic, but so what? I think he's a good dude who's genuine, and he gives me expensive whiskey. How could I refuse that? But no, it's happy to go on his show, but I'm not going to impose myself in unless I had something really fucking juicy. Paulie. My home of Wisconsin burned, but Kyle is a bad guy. Yeah, he's very bad. Kyron L., whose court case will be over first? Yours or Trump? I think Trump's. Without a hint of irony. I think Trump's will be over before mine. We have a year of discovery. I don't know why. It's a long fucking time, but it is what it is. Talk with Sally says, thank you. You know what I mean? Talk with Sally. Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome, Sally. Before anybody takes that in a fucking stupid way, Sally had a tech issue earlier, reached out, and I was able to help out with the tech issue because I have experience doing this streaming thing for a while. Doc Brewski says, ever hear of John Bryan, the civil rights lawyer on YouTube? Yes. I guess you two having a great combo could be a great guest. Happy to do so. Sounds awesome. Okay. Megan Fox says, Nick, this gay internet drama will go away a lot faster the less you talk about it. Don't let your ODD convince you that that's bad advice. No, Megan, this one is out of my hands. This one's out of my hands. This is in the hands of other people. It's not going away. Okay. So there we go. That's the end of YouTube. YouTube, I love you. We're going to Rumble exclusively. The link is in the description on YouTube. The link is also in the pin chat on YouTube. September 16th, Nashville. Come to the show. It's going to be fun. Dick will be there. Cecil will be there. Maybe some other people. Oh, now obviously, Kurt will be there. Bronco will be there. I'm missing some. Camelot will be there. Maybe some other people. Could be some fireworks. Could be very chill. Come hang out. It's going to be a lot of fun no matter what happens. And this shit doesn't derail what I do. So come do it. Grab some tickets. Mandy says, did you get the Navigator looked at? No, not yet. They will not return my call. I'm just going to drive it there tomorrow. All right, guys. Going on to Rumble so we can say illegal stuff.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen,